What would you do if the god who guarded your world suddenly fell? Osiris lay dead on the cold stone. His crown slipped aside as firelight trembled across the silent hall. Whispers spread that Seth lured Osiris into a feast of false rejoicing, then struck him down once the torches dimmed, slaying his brother before any guardian sensed the treachery unfolding. Later, in a hidden chamber veiled with incense, Isis breathed ancient names, drawing one brief spark into Osiris again, long enough to conceive the child Horus. But Isis knew that Seth would hunt the child, so she gathered her resolve and fled to Earth. Her plan was to hide among humble villagers who would never guess a goddess walked beside them. She reached a remote delta village at dusk, its mud brick roofs crouched low among whispering reeds, offering a hiding place far from Seth's long-shadowed gaze prowling near. Newborn Horus slept against her chest, hidden by coarse linen, his faint divine warmth steadying Isis as she entered the quiet village seeking shelter and silence. But dark clouds gathered beyond the marsh, thunder rolling like Seth's hungry breath, and every gust that swept the reeds warned Isis that danger drew ever closer now, so near. Kind farmers welcomed her without question, offering bread and warmth, seeing only a weary mother in need, never guessing a goddess hid among their humble doorways. In his shadowed stronghold, Seth snarled at drifting rumors, sending a pair of lean red jackals to stalk the marshes and uncover where Isis might be hiding. One jackal stayed low to the ground, slipping between reeds with practiced silence, while the other sniffed the wind sharply, both drawing closer to the village where Isis hid. High above, a lone falcon circled with burning eyes, and then it folded its wings and dropped toward the reeds, racing to strike before the jackals reached the village path. One jackal fell broken in the reeds as the falcon struck, but the other fled limping into darkness, carrying news of Isis's hidden refuge to Seth. He blended with wandering traders near the huts, studying Isis from afar, watching the way she avoided every curious gaze, her cautious movements betraying a danger she carried quietly with her. He moved among wandering traders near the huts, watching Isis closely, noting how she shunned every shrine, convinced her guarded silence hid a secret there. Then he snuck into the house and raised his arm to strike, but a cold hand seized his wrist, and Nephthys, the goddess of twilight, appeared beside him. "Touch my sister's baby, and I'll haunt you and your kind for 77 generations," Nephthys warned, and the shaken assassin stumbled back and scampered off that night. When he saw his plan unraveled again, Seth gathered his rage, shaping it into a venomous serpent that coiled to life, eager to strike the helpless child hidden on earth. The snake slipped through the marsh unseen, gliding beneath the reeds so low that even the watching falcon missed its shadowed path, never sensing the danger moving closer. Nephthys waited in twilight at the doorway, yet the serpent slid past her glow without fear, its cold eyes fixed ahead, as if no goddess living could bar its path. It reached the sleeping child at last, struck once with silent venom, and Horus gasped as color drained from his skin, his tiny breath faltering in the hush around him. When Isis returned to the small dim room, she froze, for Horus lay still upon the mat, his lips paling to blue as the venom tightened its hold upon him. Isis cradled Horus as his breath faded, whispering, "No, no. You are the son of a god. You cannot die. You just can't," her voice trembling with rising terror now still. Isis knelt beside him and began to chant, a faint glow rising around her, while villagers gathered at the doorway, sorrowful, yet drawn to the strange light awakening there. Her chanting deepened, and the light around her strengthened, brightening through the room until the villagers stepped back in alarm, retreating from the power rising there. Then she blazed like a newborn sun, her voice shaking heaven. You are meant to be king of gods. You cannot die. I, Isis, daughter of Geb and Nut, forbid it. The house erupted in blinding light that surged beyond its walls, flooding the marshes and piercing the night sky so fiercely that distant travelers saw its radiance flare. At dawn, the elder of the village found Isis sitting still with Horus in her arms, each crowned by a faint glowing halo, as morning light drifted softly through the room that calm day. The elder bowed and called her "my lady," saying, "That was no ordinary serpent, and none here have ever seen such light before in all our years within this place." Isis sighed and said it was her brother Seth, that he had lost all reason, and though she would find a way to stop him, they were not safe within this village now. She said she would craft a floating island to change its place each night, adding with a weary smile, "Ptah will help me build it. He still owes me one. I liked and subscribed to all his plans." Later that day, she stood beside the riverbank, preparing to depart, while the elder and gathered villagers told her softly they would miss her more than words could say. Isis smiled and bowed her head to them. "You are good people. When all this is over, and after your long lives close, we will meet again in the field of reeds.